Lay in bed and think about this. GenAI for creative. I mean, whoever figures this out at scale, and we've seen stuff that ChatGPT's come out recently, will truly go down as legends and will print for many years to come. So we're fired up about it. Again, GenAI for creative, I think, is just the future of so many things in e-com.
Welcome to another episode of the Ecommerce Toolbox Expert's Perspective. Joining us today, we have Jack Farrell, who is the VP of Ecom over at PopSockets. So very excited to have you, Jack. Welcome to the show.
Kevin, you're the man. Fired up to be here. Thanks so much.
Love it, love it. Jack, obviously you have a very impressive background. You've ran ecom at multiple different businesses, from startup to scale up. You're now heading up globally, PopSockets. Maybe walk us through a bit of your career journey and how you ended up in your role.
Yeah, no, thanks, Kevin. Frankly, I've always been obsessed with driving not just top line growth, but bottom line growth through a blend of customer empathy and really, I'd say, performance rigor. And that core focus is the same really in any business and any geo. And whether it was, doing lemonade stands as a kid to buy baseball cards, to working with Allbirds to support new market expansion, building D2C brands from zero inside Omnicom's TBWA Venture Builder, or scaling global e-commerce at PopSockets. I really think the throughput or through line has been building systems that are customer first, insight led, test driven, and really ruthlessly optimized for variable contribution margin. At the end of the day, I think it's really not just about what you sell, but what you keep after. And again, focus on not just top line, but bottom line. I think too many times folks can get caught up on a top line vanity metric where you don't get paid on top line vanity. And so really always been interested in the bottom line. And so you sell top line, and what are the different ways you can optimize all the different profit lines throughout. And I truly believe the two are not mutually exclusive, especially in today's world of e-commerce, where you can relentlessly chase incrementality if you can do the things right across the different tools that you have. And I think really that mindset goes all the way back to kind of the things I did early on in my career to, how I think about growth at PopSockets. And truly, if you love ecom, PopSockets is the absolute, I think, has every product characteristic or everything you look for in a brand that I say there's 5 things to love about PopSockets. We have optimal product characteristics. We have category synonymity. We're a product that's inherently viral. We're a canvas for self-expression. And our product is built for the thing that people care about most, their phone. And so if you think about those 5 things and you love ecom, sign me up. We want all the right people on this bus here to move this thing forward, because I truly think we have such a position of strength. Think about every day of how do we extract as much value as possible from that.
Very cool. And yeah, I'm curious, when you hopped on the bus at PopSockets, it looks like your initial focus was more whether to launch or scale Asia, and then you've now taken on a global lens. Maybe talk to us a bit about Asia as a market. If there's people that are listening that are either thinking about launching it or thinking of gaining more traction, maybe talk to us a bit about how to approach ecom in those markets. I mean, I hear it's a bit more of a mobile first kind of culture, we'll say. So yeah, love to hear from you, your thoughts and your experiences there.
No, Kalen, you nailed it. I mean, APAC taught me a number of things. And you mentioned mobile first. I mean, I'd say APAC taught me to think mobile first, creator first, and speed first. Markets like Korea and China just move faster, and the bar for relevance, I think, is higher. With platforms like Line in Korea or Little Red Book in China and ecosystem-driven super apps really setting the pace in a lot of these markets. It's unlike things that we have in the US now, but we're going more and more that way. You see that with TikTok Shop Lives and things like that now. I mean, frankly, live streaming has been huge for us for years. And we actually were early on in having our own live stream studio, just doing a lot of content, a lot of live selling. Again, something that was big over there that we've been working to bring to the US as well. But really, the thing that stuck with me in Asia in general, APAC in general, is just urgency. APAC operates at a sense of now. Urgency is good, urgency is fun, and we're bringing that global at PopSockets. And in a world, I truly believe, where trends change fast and attention spans are short, newness is what wins. And we're fortunate at PopSockets to really have a product that is a canvas in and of itself. So we can bring newness as much just all the time. Because just think about, how you consume content. You're scrolling all the time. Newness is what wins. Understanding the algorithm is what wins. And again, I think APAC taught me that. And we're trying to do that more broadly across every geo at PopSockets now.
So PopSockets is one of those early D2C companies that I studied a lot when we're at one point about a decade ago, and I was thinking of launching, maybe not that long ago, thinking of launching a D2C brand, and PopSockets came up in its virality kind of in that period. How have you guys been able to manage? When I think PopSockets, I think the pop socket. I don't think a phone case or a MagSafe or all the additional product lines that you guys are now launching. Maybe talk us through how you guys position the business in a bit more broad, because it sounds like you had to make that single product to multi-product pivot. So yeah, maybe talk to us a bit about that.
It's like you're in our leadership team conversations, Caitlin. We talk about this all the time. Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, PopSockets is the category. We get 10 times more branded search than we get category search, meaning PopSockets versus phone grip. And a lot of times people say, is that a blessing or a curse? I'm like, sign me up. Explain to me where the curse is there when people are searching you out by name. That's strength, and we've got to capitalize on that and extract value from that. And so really, our job is now to capitalize on that. And again, we're searched 10 times more by brand than by product category. And that equates to like 66 million times a year on Amazon. People are searching for PopSockets. That's truly wild. And so how do we evolve from a product company to more of a mobile lifestyle brand? I say it all the time, and people think I'm hyperbolic, but I think that we're commercializing the internet. Again, people think I'm crazy, but here's what I mean. Our product is a canvas, and it lets us tap into really any niche or subculture online. And that means we can drop designs that speak directly to hyper-relevant communities. And we've already seen how powerful this can be with some recent collections. Over the last year, we've been incredibly relentless of product drops, launching things every single week. And this isn't, and it's really not just a phone grip anymore. Again, how do we go from product to more lifestyle? It's a grip-centered magnetic mobile outfit. And we like to say is just like you would, every morning you pick out what hat you would wear or what shoes you'd put on or what watch you would wear. We want people to think about that with what you put on the back of your phone. So making it really about self-expression. And you go out to lunch, you put your phone up on the table, just like you would any accessory you could wear. That back of the phone is now a representation of you. And so we believe things you can do with cases now, with straps and wristlets, with wallets. It's really an opportunity and a piece of real estate that is an expression of someone. So really, again, going from just that functional phone grip to really a magnetic mobile outfit.
I like that. Mobile outfit. I alliteration.
Alliteration. I'm a sucker for it.
That's really, really good. I mean, obviously you guys have done pretty well with like TikTok, micro influencers, hopping on trends. Bit of a random question. Do you guys believe you can create viral moments, or do you just have to like attach yourself to viral moments?
I think it's a great question. I think it's about commercializing interest in these platforms. Again, with our product being a platform in and of itself, I think our job is to understand niches that exist on the internet and commercialize them, and we can do it better than anyone else. I think we can be part of viral moments. Again, just with the way that our product shows up so naturally with people. When we work with influencers, they are already content creating. They are already doing these things. We have such a great way to not just enable it, but enhance that experience that they're currently doing. So we can come along, I think, pretty in a good way with these viral moments.
Are you curious, when you look at expansion, obviously you could stay in similar verticals and widen your product range. You could expand internationally. Are you folks really, really focused D2C, or do you have like a B2B element as well? Curious about how you're looking at spending your time there.
Massive B2B presence. I mean, our biggest three customers, but we're we're in Target, we're in Walmart, we're in Best Buy. And all that does is help kind of compound this flywheel of brand. When we show up in those places together with what we do on D2C together, what we do on Amazon, I think we're able to really service the customer with where they want to be. We know how this D2C world has evolved over the last 5 years, where unit economics and profitability have come to the forefront. It's something we've always believed in, or I've always put top of mind, that I love what we can do in retail, what we can do, not just one-on-one relationships with retailers, but distributors internationally as well. We operate in 70 plus different countries. And I just think all that compounds, being ever present where customers are, meet them where they are. It really does help elevate us. And just like our optimal product characteristics are incredibly favorable for e-com, we also are able to service a lot of condensed value for retailers. Think check lanes at Target, end caps at Best Buy. We can provide a lot of condensed value that's very valuable. And I think a reason for these retailers to want to work with us.
Yeah, with a lot of D2C brands that have gone public since COVID, getting some interesting press right now around long-term liquidity concerns. Talk to us a bit about fundamentally how you've approached this. And I think you said it in one of your opening statements around, it's not just about vanity top line, but it's about bottom line. Maybe talk us through how you've seen that evolve in the space and how you've always looked at it, like growth at all costs versus sustainable growth. And like, what is the, call it 2025 state of affairs in terms of how these businesses should be operating?
I think it really comes down to, again, not just top line. I think this growth at all costs was kind of always a fallacy. And we're seeing that kind of come to fruition now. And the best thing I truly believe about this world of e-com, whether you're, whatever customer acquisition channels you're using, whether that's Google, whether that's Meta, there are real technical tools that these platforms offer you, which we call cost controls. Whether it's target ROAS bidding, whether it's CPA targets, that really allow you to put profitability at the forefront. When things like tariffs come in and you start seeing your unit economics change. Well, if you were bidding at a 2.5 ROAS or you're bidding at a 3.5 ROAS, whether it's a 7-day click, 1-day view, 7-day click, 1-day click, whatever it is, you can really adjust what Meta or Google is bidding against to put profit at the forefront and not just grow at all costs, where it's not guesswork. It's much more science than it's ever been. And so we so believe in cost controls about everything that we do in terms of performance media. We put that at the forefront. And then if you believe in cost controls, what are the levers that you have to really influence growth? And that's creative volume. And that's something else that we can get into. But I just think it's understanding path to purchase, how you sell to these groups, what platforms to use, the constraints you can give them to put profitability at the forefront, and then what levers that you have to really influence good spend and profitability. The idea of growing at all costs and profitability, those two are not mutually exclusive. I think in today's world, there's so many great tools, and these platforms just have so much data that you can do both together. You can grow and you can do it profitably. And so I think it's really just about understanding and people leaning into a lot more of these tools and how they can help you mitigate downside and lean into upside.
All right, cool. And I mean, I'm assuming this is coming up at your SLT meetings. How are you guys thinking about AI integration, right? Whether it's in the shopping experience or as internal tooling, where do you think AI kind of has a place, if at all, within PopSockets?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I'm most fired up about, I lay in bed and think about this, is genAI for creative. I mean, whoever figures this out at scale, and we've seen stuff that ChatGPT's come out recently, will truly go down as legends and will print for many years to come. So we're fired up about it. Again, genAI for creative, I think, is just the future of so many things in e-com. And we're going hard at it, spending a lot of time, energy, and real resourcing to figure out the best way to do that, who the best players are. And we believe this is truly the unlock for endless and scaled personalization, faster testing cycles, and radically more efficient creative development. And going back to what I said before about cost controls on performance marketing platforms, paid Meta, TikTok, creative volume is truly the game when you operate at efficiency targets. And GenAI can give you really unlimited at-bats, unlimited tokens at the arcade, if you think about it that way, with constraints and saying, and that's why we think about product launches are so important. Newness wins. And when you have constraints against them, you can mitigate downside and capitalize on upside. And so and that's why we're being so aggressive here. We're really actively building out creative systems that integrate GenAI into our catalog workflow, especially for image generation. And while text on image, I think, is the thing that surprisingly is what's lagging in a lot of this, there really is, you can see every day the quality of this GenAI for creative is getting better and better and better. And then when you can do that at absolute scale, and you have a product that is a canvas in and of itself, the breadth of niches and how deep you can go and talk to specific audience, just 10, 20, 100 X's overnight. And so I truly think a massive unlock for brands like ours and PopSockets specifically is GenAI and what that can do for customer acquisition and really speaking genuinely to these groups. So something I think about all the time.
Yeah, I mean, as you were chatting, some things were hopping in my brain, which I'm assuming are things, and maybe you don't want to comment too much if it's on your roadmap, but I mean, I don't know what would be stopping you guys from embedding a GenAI image generator on your website and then having a direct link to be able to just drop that onto a wallet, drop that onto a phone case, right? Or better yet, how do you work with some of the LLMs so that when people are generating those images, they can export it directly, right? To how do you guys become the preferred vendor? So when someone's messing around and they make a funny image and they want to put it on a phone case, right? How do you kind of streamline that? Are some of the things that were coming to mind? And you don't have to answer, but I think there's a huge opportunity just to kind of.
Yeah, no, you're right on, Kayla. I mean, we have this customizer product on our website that is actually the thing that customers gravitate towards as much as anything. And that's, a simple kind of upload picture of your dog, your kids, whatever. And people just love that. And we've done things with enhancing that with some of these LLMs to allow people to kind of do what you're talking about. And really, it's endless opportunity. And so I think there's opportunity to take those same types of things and not just give people truly endless amount of create your own, but do that at a finished good level where they're shopping product grids and not just having this endless decision fatigue where it's like, can I make this? I hit another iteration. But I think using those platforms or using these LLMs or GenAI to create products that they can easily shop, we then level up to creating a landing page that we can put those on. We then think about the ad creative that we can then generate off of that, like a 5-10 asset pack of performance creative. And so then it's a one-to-one journey that is just seamless for the customer. And that's where, again, people think I'm hyperbolic when I say it, but I truly believe we can commercialize the internet across niches. If you think about how these algorithms work on paid social or just social media in general. And so something that we're just so relentlessly focused on finding ways to do that at scale.
Very cool. I think you definitely sold me on the dressing the phone, the phone outfit. I really like that concept. That's pretty funny, but that's great. And I mean, that's awesome, Jack. What do you think? And just as we look to close up this episode, it's been great so far. What do you think? One of the top mistakes e-com D2C businesses are still making in 2025.
I'll tell you, it's been 2025. I think it's been longer than that. Is over-reliance on in-platform reported ROAS. I think the smartest teams are moving past that because we know it doesn't tell the full story. It started with last touch attribution, then it went to MTA. I think that together with in-platform just doesn't tell the full story. I think people, it's really important to understand your business metrics, and that's why we've always done this, and we're looking for more ways to make it better. Is understanding incrementality, whether it's geo holdouts, inverse holdouts, to really be able to understand what is driving incremental revenue. I just love profit dollars, and I just want to make sure every dollar that we spend gives us a dollar that we would not have gotten otherwise. I think still so many groups look at a ROAS, and the crazy thing to me about ROAS is a definition. It's not a lot of physics. It is a definition, meaning, okay, what's your ROAS at a 1-day click? What's your ROAS at a 7-day click? What's your ROAS if you throw in views into that? And so people throw out this ROAS number like it's again a law of physics, when it is truly a definition. And so in platform is a tool, the way you optimize in platform is a tool to drive business metrics. So, I still think too many folks look at that as a success metric when that's just simply a tool to put dollars in your bank account.
I like how you frame that. Really, really cool, Jack. Well, I very much appreciate you hopping on. Love the brand, PopSockets. Obviously, you've had a really impressive career. Wishing you all the best, and thanks for hopping on.
Ken, you're the man. I appreciate you having me.
The E-commerce Toolbox Expert Perspectives is brought to you by Noibu. To find out more about Noibu and how we can help you debug your e-commerce site and rocket your revenue, visit www.noibu.com. That's Noibu.com. And then make sure to search for the E-commerce Toolbox Expert Perspectives on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or anywhere else podcasts are found, and click subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes. On behalf of the team here at Noibu, thanks for listening.